Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We are focusing in and zooming in on a viewer question that we got in, and that was the request to explore the incidence experience of quiet borderline personality disorder. And borderline personality disorder is a cluster B personality disorder, a character disorder that we see discussed and defined in the DSM for our basically the diagnostic statistical manual that is utilized by mental health professionals to diagnose and treat mental disorders. And although that's not the goal of this channel, to diagnose and treat personality disorders, this is an educational forum to explore these topics and discuss its incidence, its prevalence, and really kind of tools for understanding and coping. And so the borderline personality disorder is really typified by a lot of kind of emotional dysregulation or emotional instability. And so what we mean is kind of the black and white thinking. It's all or nothing. It's all yes or all no. There's no shades of gray. It's either on or off. It's hot or cold. It's here or there. It's yes or no. It's oftentimes as a result of experiences in childhood. And we're going to go kind of as a in future videos is to understanding perhaps the origin of it and how the temperament of the individual has some genetic components, but also emotional triggers as well. But really what is most unique about the borderline personality disorder is the aspect of kind of an instability of the way that they view themselves, or what we might call identity disturbance. So these individuals typically do not have a very positive image of themselves. They tend to engage in self-loathing, self-hatred, fear of abandonment, fear that those individuals who kind of they rely on to be substantive in their life are never going to be there, or they're going to hurt them, or they're going to distrust them. They're going to turn around on their back. It's a lot of these overperceptions, which tend to really disturb a lot of their relationships. So things don't always go smooth sailing. In fact, things might not ever go smooth sailing if you have it's become out of control in your life or in your relationship with this individual. And this feeling of emptiness, feeling of worthlessness, feeling of boredom, feeling like their emotions are just kind of not really there, not feeling good, not super comfy, not pleasant. And so really, there is a high incidence of this borderline experience in the U.S. population. I would say, anywhere, from like 1, 2 to 5% of the population presents with borderline or this experience or this temperament. And I do want to give a quick shout out to my international viewers. I have a lot of lovely international viewers, so I love you. I love you all, U.S. and international. And I just want to let you know real quick that I appreciate your viewership. And thank you for all the great, wonderful work that you're doing to understand yourself, difficult people in your life, and really, getting some tools and a handle and resource of knowledge here. So thanks again. In any way, so the borderline personality disorder is typified by these kind of core tendencies or core experiences. And the quiet borderline personality disorder is someone who is very sort of aloof, very quiet, very not outwardly very communicative. Yet there's a lot going on underneath the surface. It's kind of like the frozen lake, but with like a whole sea life underneath the surface. There's a lot going on. Oftentimes these people tend to have a lot of thought disturbance about themselves and about others, and tend to feel really that their emotions, their life, and their image of themselves is very out of control, unstable. So they tend to lash out at others, but really in the experience of the quiet borderline, a lot of lashing out inwardly, so acting inward on themselves. So feeling a sense of self-reproach, self-regret, a lot of negative self-talk, and kind of a dark feeling, a foggy feeling, not a feeling of feeling like bright and happy and joyful. It's very hard for them to have a consistent kind of baseline of this feeling, and yet they feel like there's something wrong with them because they're not feeling this. And so, this is very typical experience of the quiet borderline, and we're going to be exploring in future video and content really what this looks like, what it feels like, and how to harness some of that negativity and really kind of flip it around and get it to be more productive in your life versus so destructive. Because oftentimes it's this black or white thinking which can lead one down the wrong path, and you want to do a U-turn and go back and kind of get a happier middle ground and learn to really get the reins on these feelings so it's not disruptive to yourself and your relationships. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.